I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet.
2, 1, and we're live.
We're live and we're raw.
Yeah, welcome everyone to the Moose Vu Sesh, where we are giving hope in a different dose. I'm Blake Musa, aka the Black Moose.
And I'm Vu Fam, and we have a special guest here today from Parramatta.
That's correct.
Kevin Diaz.
Great.
Mr. Diaz, how are you, bro?
I'm doing
You
great.
related
Thank
to
you.
Nate Diaz?
No.
Okay.
Not Nick Diaz either.
No, he ain't no Mexicano.
No.
He's Colombia.
That's correct.
Cool, man. So how long have you been in Australia?
I've been 16 years now.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
16 years.
16 years now.
Man,
yeah.
you got a very thick Colombian accent, brother.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be an Aussie by now.
It doesn't go away. I don't know how. I've been trying to go away.
And you learn English here, do you?
No, I went to England for a period of time.
All right.
I was back home in Colombia. I was studying architecture and just cut it off for a period of time. Went to England to learn English,
Wow.
supposedly, but I'm still speaking the way I speak.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to get my money back.
The English couldn't teach you English.
No way.
So how was living in Colombia like? How was that growing up?
Oh, Colombia is a different culture compared to Australia. It's just
Yeah.
totally different. We are more family oriented in the sense that you live with your family for a long period of time. It's not like you could just in here you live 21 years old, 18 years old, they kick you out of the house. So but over there you stay with your parents, you stay till as long as you can.
Like 13 to 14, they kick you out.
No, just stay with them as long as
Oh, in Colombia.
yes.
Yeah, man.
You always usually come close to your parents.
It's like over there you have like 3 or 4 generations in the same house.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Not like over here where
You
you just push them off to a nursing home when they're...
It's
Yeah,
different.
It's the other way around, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
different.
well, your parents kick you out first,
Yes.
and then later on,
You kick them out.
yeah, you kick them out, you put them in a
But there's
nursing
someone
home.
wanting to stay, stay.
In here?
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Be a man.
Oh, in Colombia it's different, a
Yeah.
bit different to Australia in that sort of sense.
What about Colombia? Were you well off, family-wise, or were a bit poverty?
No, my parents were. I was blessed with my parent was a politician.
Wow.
He got a good reputation as being an honest person, honest man. So he got quite a few jobs. But me being the black sheep of the family just brought shame to his politician career.
Wow.
I was the one doing drugs and doing things. People knew me because of my bad.
Right. What
Yeah.
got you into the dope?
Growing up, like I said, we got a big family, so
Yeah.
things happened out of my control that I couldn't deal with it properly, so I couldn't process it properly. I just became angry, I beat out my life. I started doing the wrong thing, meeting the wrong people, start trying cigarettes like everyone does, pot, drinking, and then that just brought into a spiral, just doing the wrong thing and the wrong thing. My dad one time, even though he had a good reputation with everyone, he used to cheat on my mom, but that was just like normal in Colombia. The culture
Right.
is like
Wow.
you're the man, so you have more women.
Wow.
So if you have more women, you that's how you feel like you're the man.
Oh, wow.
Ice cold.
It's different, eh?
Yeah. So like my dad, cheated on my mom kicked him out of the house, so I lost my dad respect from my dad, and from there on, I just I don't have that point of reference to someone to look up to or to someone to tell.
So much for political authority, right?
Mm.
Mum kicked the dad out.
But then he came back anyway.
Okay.
They stayed together 57 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even today.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Going through the ups and downs. Kudos to all the the married couples that have fought it in and out, up and down. God bless you.
Yes.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, correct.
I-
Learn from the mistakes.
Yeah.
Any of you married?
Um,
I'm married.
Blake is?
6.5 years.
Yes.
I'm not.
Bless the Lord. I'll pray for you, bro.
Keep praying.
We're praying for you, brother.
Yeah, but man, living in Colombia, what time did you, or what age did you start like moving out, thinking you were your own man, or you just started being a rat bag, being you?
I was just a rebellious kid that just I push everyone that trying to show me love, or everyone that care for me, my family, my aunties. They try everything with me. They take me to acupuncture. They take me to all these rocks and they put me into doctors, but I was just an angry kid that just got into many fights.
Why were you angry, man? Like, tell
Like I
us,
said,
man.
there was something that happened to me, and I used that as an excuse to continue to destroy my life. Even at point of times that I didn't know what I was even angry about. That after doing so many drugs, I just forgot my angriness.
Yeah,
My brother was a bit of a bully to me. He was a big guy, always just bullied me and toughen me up. So I guess that's why I was just, and my dad cheating on my mom. I didn't fit out with everyone. I was this little skinny kid that was trying to wear baggy pants and, people picking on me and just get angry and fight. To the point people come to my house with guns and chasing me and everything.
wow.
Dang.
That's Colombia though. There's no like
That's-
you go punch with someone. Just
Yeah,
don't mess with the wrong people in Colombia.
sounds like Southwest Sydney back in the 90s.
How about you growing up?
Me, yeah. I grew up in a very probably similar culture as you back in the 90s, where I grew up. It was heroin infested. Everyone was on heroin back in the 90s. Yeah, and I grew up with guns, gangs, and everything as well. But yeah, I never brought it home. Yeah,
A respect or what was?
out of respect for my mum, it was funny. I was having a conversation with my mum the other day, and I had this kid with me, and my mum was talking to this kid, going, "Yeah, what's good about Vu is, eh, even though he lived out on the streets, he never brought the cops home. He never brought trouble home."
That's a good thing.
So mum, in that respect to my mum and that, and I never used to bring trouble home, man. And
Wow.
I grew up in very similar circumstances, drive-bys every night, shootings every night.
Mine wasn't that bad, but it was just like, oh, wow.
Got shot in the head, and but yeah, man. So my life was bit all over the place as well, but probably the same as you, that I probably had a lot of anger and resentment for my father, that I didn't know what else to do.
For not being there for you or something.
Yeah. So my father left me when I was about 12, 13. I didn't have a father growing up, and I was probably an angry kid. Yeah.
Being a Christian now, were you able to get in contact with your dad?
Well, he's like MIA, because I talk to other family members and that.
Yep.
And it's kind of like what happened was, I think he feels guilty with what he's done, and he, after I went to prison for a while, for a long time, he came back into my mother's life and my younger brother's life, and did the same thing again.
Wow.
And kind of just disappeared. And then we kind of just I talked to other family members and that, and I think it's like it's a separation where I think his side of the family is too ashamed to speak to my mum's side of the family, because of what he's done. But my mum forgives him and all that. I forgive him as a Christian now.
Yeah.
I don't hold it against him. And man.
My mom was the one that usually put the brakes on me too. I always saw her so distraught, the things that I was doing to her. I have a sister that died when she was 10 years old of leukemia. And that, usually when that used to come into the conversation, I feel bad for my mom. All the family members getting killed and shot. And then, so my mom always was fearful of me being killed or shot all the time. So at one time I said, okay, I tried to make it better all the time, but I was like a magnet for bad situation or bad people all the time.
You're in a vicious cycle.
Yeah, when my dad left, I became addicted to cocaine, and that was for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
And then my whole family was just fearful of me, that I couldn't go to the house because I was gonna steal everything from the house. No one let me into the house. I was the black sheep of the family.
They didn't want to. They couldn't trust a junkie
Oh,
anymore.
no way.
You know. I see it in a lot of families too. Just out there where they're their own sons. They can't even have in the house no more because they're so messed up, so jacked up on drugs that their family won't even take them in because the family's so afraid of the VCR's gonna go missing or something. Or the jewelry's gonna go.
That's what I used to do. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, there's no trust. And the person, it's sad because the person deep down inside is a good person. It's what the drugs do to them.
You feel like guilt and shame the whole time. You're trying to get better, but you can just get out of it. It's just you can shake it off. Have you ever tried drugs by any chance?
Most I tried was weed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I remember.
But that, go ahead.
not good for you.
No. Like in a sense, compared to what we're talking about here.
Weed's usually the gateway drug, right?
Yes.
And I remember getting into a club at the Cross, and a friend of mine put some Eki in an empty cigarette pack because there's cameras everywhere, right? I wanted to keep it, on the down low, and I held the Eki in my hand, and I was a bit scared because how you see movies and stuff. One guy in the movie just takes a pill of ecstasy, and then he gets into a fit. And then dies. So,
that's what they call
or wake up in a jail cell. Where am I?
That's what they call movies. Anyway.
And then I gave it back to her, and that was it. So that's as far as I've gone. I remember one time I read the Source magazine.
Okay.
It's a hip hop magazine, and one of the articles was about Snoop Dogg. And it was showing his inspiration of how he writes his rhymes and writes the music and stuff. So he had pen and paper, studio, and a blunt. Yeah. Right. So I tried the same thing. I didn't have a pen and pad, but I was trying to make a beat. I was at my mate's house. I was chuffing, and then after that, I was just walking, just stumbling, and just trying to hide from my parents. Right, just secluded in my own room so that they don't get a bit suspicious, right?
Paranoia.
Trying to make
paranoid.
paranoid. That's it. Yeah. And then just making this beat, and then the day after, I went. It was over 11 years ago now. And just playing the beat is the most crappiest beat that I've ever made in my life.
Wow. Were you looking like, this is good?
False advertising, Snoop Dogg.
It didn't work.
Yeah. So I need God.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Pot for me was just, it used to do my head. I would just go into these crazy places just with pots. I couldn't handle pot for a long time.
That's right. We use these things as a means of escape. Escape reality, escape the troubles and problems. It's not the drug itself, but
it's us. The problem is us.
It's
us.
That's
right.
It's the pain that we have that we're trying to numb. We're not trying to feel anything. We're trying just to be busy with something different compared to our reality.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
And not even with drugs, but you can use anything else as a means of escape. Yeah.
Talk about escape, man. You escaped Colombia. Why'd you escape Colombia to?
It's not that I escaped, but I got the opportunity to have a second chance in life, I guess. All that past life, everyone knew me for this type of person that I was. The black sheep of the family. Every single friend that I used to have, they knew me that I was gonna rob them, or I was just gonna do something to them. Or people were waiting at the corner from my house trying to kill me. My mom all the time worried about me. So I got the opportunity to come to Australia. Yeah. And I think, okay, I'm gonna have a fresh start. No one knows me here. I could just, start fresh. Yeah. And I tried to do that, I tried to come to Australia. I did that for a period of time, 2 years. They said, could start work, start a relationship. But it was not long ago that I was in the same. It was like I wasn't attracted to bad people. My boss was a drug addict. The people that I hang around with, they were gamblers and drug addicts too. Then I start hanging.
So you're back to square one?
Back to square one, even worse now, because I'm trying different drugs. Wow. Now I start trying speed. Yeah. And that's
wide range here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what happened to me, Joe.
And also on the meth.
The meth was a bit later on down the track. That was just another episode of my life. Then, like I said, I was having this relationship with this girl. We broke up because I would gamble all the money, I steal all the money, doing the same thing. Now I'm in Australia by myself, no one to be responsible to. And so whatever, I don't care anymore. I don't feel anything. Let's just do whatever. So I start going to clubs and start selling pills, start hanging out, robbing drug dealers for the stuff and trying to sell them again, trying to be this guy, wannabe drug dealer. And then I end up with a relationship. I met a girl in a club. And I started a relationship again. End up getting her pregnant. We have a daughter, but her relationship was just volatile relationship. There was just cops all the time in the house. I steal her money. I didn't care about my daughter. I take her car. We got kicked out of houses. We live in a car. And that's when I start. Someone offered me ice, methamphetamine at that time. And that just took my soul away. I thought I was strong enough. I know how to deal with pot. I had to deal with cocaine. I had to deal with pills. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm good. But
When you say took your soul away, what do you mean by that?
it removed the only little goodness that was in me. You know, I could have just calmed down on my drugs and I just, I'd be a good person. Not a good person. I was raised Catholic, so I always have this Catholic mentality. You have to do good for people because that's how I was raised. So,
Yeah.
but as I tried ice, that just stole even the little bit of goodness that was in me. I didn't care about anyone. I would have done anything for the drug. And I started doing that. I took robbing people, didn't care about my kids, both of the kids, nothing. Not so, just to get the next hit.
Wow.
I broke every relationship that I could have, any friend, which just back in the same boat that I was in Colombia, but now even worse.
Wow. And you came for a better life.
And that's what I was supposed to be.
There's no change in the
Yeah.
sea change.
Oh, no.
There's no change in the great sea change. If you don't deal with square one, how you're able to get onto the next squares and deal with the same problem. And as for you, as what you said, it became even worse.
And that was, I said, sin is progressive. You're gonna it won't keep still. If you continue to do in the same boat, you're gonna be getting worse and worse and worse. Like a psychopath, just going lower and lower and lower all the time. And I was just doing things that I would never think that I would ever do. I was a good kid as growing up till I was 10 years old. I was a good chess player. I was a straight A kid. Never thought in my life that I would end up in the place that I'm right now. And I was skinny. My soul was taken away.
You showed me a picture of yourself. That was you in jail, was it?
That was me in jail.
Okay.
I haven't been arrested yet by that time.
I'll put that photo up. You'll probably see it right now. And I'll do my video editing smarts. You'll probably see that right now.
Okay.
Man, full on.
Wow.
Yes. I continued that down spiral till one time I broke up with the second relationship now too. So my whole family is so worried about me now again, thinking, go back home, just come back home. You come back here and we try to get you better. You go through AA, you just do something better for yourself. We got people here, we love you, we care for you. Every single drug, everything that they were trying to convince me to go back home.
Yeah.
Just because they couldn't find me here, they were so worried my family's all.
Yeah. To tell you one thing about AA, NA, DA,
all of them.
All of them I've done at least half a dozen times.
No.
At least half a dozen. None of it helped me. None of it. Any program that is man-made or anything, man. I tell you what.
Give me an example of one of their solutions.
You hear of like 12-step programs, right? By day, you stop and that. But the problem is with these programs, right?
Yeah.
Is they put you in a room full of other addicts.
Okay.
And if you're in a room with 12 other addicts,
You're gonna talk about
what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about?
Hi, I'm an alcoholic.
What are you doing tonight?
and look, I want to tell you something. All right. There are some there genuinely want to change.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are there because it's either they do the program or they're going to go back to jail. So they have to tick the box. When the class closed down and they're walking out the door, what do you think they're talking about?
but they're gonna get the next hit.
Yeah, exactly what.
Yeah. I did one the same thing for that. I had to do it for court. Even though I was trying to get better,
Yeah.
I had to do one for court, but it was just me and the lady just talking about my life. That was it.
Yeah.
You know how many times did I try to leave drugs? No matter how many times you try, it's always at the back of your head. You just need the supernatural gift of God just to put the switch off, and you don't have that desire anymore for it.
Takes a miracle.
Oh, that's it. You couldn't do it on your own. No matter how many times you got the whole combination of alcohol, and you got pot, and you got cigarettes, and you got
Yeah.
everything.
You got a cocktail
Oh.
of everything bad inside you.
You need an external power.
Yes.
So it's just, how did you stop?
Well, by the time I stopped, like Blake was talking about the picture in jail, I was trying to go back home, and I ended up in Sydney, and I was gonna go back, but like I say again, I was trying to get better before I went back home, because I didn't want to go back home showing myself as an addict again.
Yeah, yeah.
All my friends, what they're gonna say to me, you just left as an addict, you're gonna come back as an addict, you haven't changed, you haven't done anything in Australia. What have you proved for all this time that you've
So
been
you're
here?
just afraid of the repercussions.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back.
Decisions.
The shame again. I didn't want to
Yeah.
go back there and tell the stories. What have you done? I said, I tried to get better in Sydney, but like I said, I always end up in the same cycle. I was bored. I ended up breaking into people's cars. I started stealing stuff. Then I ended up doing ice again. But now I got no one here. I don't know anyone here, so I don't care either even more. I start jumping into people's
That's
house.
it, eh? No accountability.
To no
Don't
one.
know anyone, and you could just do what you feel like. You could just do whatever you want, and no one's gonna care.
I didn't care about my life either, because I left 2 relationships in the past,
Yeah.
2 kids, and no father figure, nothing. I didn't care even about myself, so that's how I ended up in jail.
Mhm.
I ended up jumping into people's houses. I ended up stealing their stuff,
Yeah.
and I ended up meeting really, really, really bad people that I don't know how I'm alive. And one day, one of them drugged me and almost overdosed me. And I just, I end up with the ambulance waking me up. I have thing put on me. The ambulance saying, wake up. I end up then they took me to the hospital. I had to run away from the hospital. And now I got nothing again, nothing to show for. And I was just distraught. And I just started crying. The religion in me came around again and said, to God to fix my life, just to fix my life. And I didn't know what to do. That's the only way that I could just say, I didn't know how we're going to fix it. But I started crying like, And 3 days later, that's when my famous picture come around. I get arrested. And then I get arrested, and they had to, I run away from my problems my whole life. And God put me in a jail, remove all the habits, remove all the drugs, remove the alcohol, nothing that I could run away to, because I'm locked in a 2x4 cell.
Yeah.
I got no alcohol, no drugs, nothing to do with anything, just me, myself. And that was it. And that's it. And they even put a cellie for me for like 2 months, so I had to be in 17 hours in the jail cell by yourself. That's do your head. Withdrawing for drugs, withdrawing for alcohol, withdrawing for everything. And
you know, Viv.
Oh, man, that's been many, many years.
you know about that. You know how that feel?
I call it head miles.
What is it?
Head miles. That's what it's called. When when your car is like mileage, but your head is like doing miles.
Yeah. It's still going.
It keeps
you're
going and going. You're going nowhere. Your head's just going head
It's
miles.
crazy, yeah. I tried to write things down just to try to pause for a second, but I couldn't pause. Trying to write things down, reading things down, but my mind, like you said, head miles was just going crazy. My mind was just going at a different speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found myself with the Bible.
Right. Who gave you the Bible?
One of the points before I got arrested, I met this guy that gave me a Bible and gave me a Bible study book.
All right.
So I got my Bible study book and I get arrested, and they still didn't have my Bible and a Bible study book. So I start reading the Bible and reading the Bible and reading the Bible and reading the Bible. But I don't know nothing about the Bible. I got no idea, no one to teach me, no one to show me. I was, when I tell my testimony, I say all these names that are in the Bible. I said, what are all these names in this Bible?
Yeah.
Why do we need to read these names for?
Wow.
But they're there, so I start reading the Bible.
Yeah, cool.
So you can learn English, my friend.
The best English teacher.
Yes,
The best English book ever.
I was so confused about who Jesus was and God, who God was. So starting, there was in the Bible study book, it's talking about Jesus and say Jesus and Jesus can forgive your sins. And like, no, it's not Jesus, it's God. You had to cross off Jesus because I was so confused of who was what and what was what. That's how I started.
Yeah. So, but you're Catholic before you kind of knew about who Jesus was.
I knew who God was.
Yeah.
The whole combination, the this and that, however, it was just a confusion for me. I used to wear a rosary bead at the back all the time. Get
Yeah,
out. I'm good. I'm out of here. I do
Yeah.
my crime. That was it.
yeah.
And that was my experience about God. I used to take my grandma to church, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's just like an in and out thing, man, and that was for me as well. Parents go to church. We're dragged along with them. We make a bit of a mockery with the with the priest and with the rituals there because we didn't know any better. We're young. We did the sacraments and all these things, and then after that, we just stopped going because it was an apparent interrupt. Just another thing to do.
Think
The
about
church didn't change me. The religion didn't change me. It didn't change my parents. Started arguing, and then my dad went off to work. It was just a cycle.
you
It was
talking
just
about
a cycle.
Catholic church too, or
Catholic
Okay.
church as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. First time I went into church, because you've got that mentality, right? I would walk up the stairs. I was looking for the holy water,
Yeah.
but I can't find that stuff.
It was an experience for me when I went my first time to a Christian church.
Yeah.
I'm Colombia. I always like music, things like that. But I was expecting, get up, sit down, do the sort of things, get up, religion,
Yeah.
repeat. And I walk into a Christian church, and like, this is awesome. Like, this is awesome. Listening to the music and everything. So, well, this is different. So
Yeah.
I start enjoying.
But getting back to
Go, sorry.
how did you come face to face with God in that jail cell?
I mean, the jail cell,
How that you truly converted you, truly changed your life.
my journey from that moment that I prayed to God to fix my life, it was a crazy journey. Like I say, I ended up in jail. And in jail, you got your release day. I'm gonna get out of jail, and that day I'm getting out. I'm gonna get out of jail after 18 months. My family's coming from Colombia. They're coming to see me. But a few days before my release date, they revoked my visa. They take my visa away, and I end up in Christmas Island.
All right.
And
Detention center. Christmas
Detention,
Island
yes.
detention center.
so the only
Wow.
freedom that I saw was just in a van driving from the jail to the detention center. And I had to deal again with a different aspect of my life. My family is telling me again, just get deported. You're gonna waste your time in there. You're a criminal. They're never gonna give you life back. But I continue to pray. I continue to read the Bible. I continue to ask God to give me another chance and give me another chance. And I stayed there. And I stayed. 15 months later, I got my visa back. But before that, there was a guy that used to go to church in Paramera.
Right. Okay.
He used to do like a Bible study sort of thing. So I annoy him all the time with questions. Poor guy. Anyway.
Poor guy.
Oh.
No.
Well, I ask him all the time questions. But before my release, he gave me my pastor's phone number. So I got out of jail. They gave me $100. And that was it.
Wow.
$100.
$100 to your name.
And that's it. See you later.
Yeah.
And I have nowhere to go, nowhere to live. Only with my $100 and just took a with a dirty clothes. And that's another journey began.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up. I called my pastor. My pastor now, at that time I didn't know who he was. So listen, this guy gave me your number. I just wanted to find out what can you do for me. This is my situation. I got nowhere to live. And he said, well, just call this number. They put me in housing. So I had to go through housing, back and forward, housing here, housing there. I started going to church. And as I started going to church, one of the guys at church offered me a room at his house. As he offered me a room at his house, I was like, why are these people, being nice to me? I'm a criminal. Why are they trying to treat me nice? Feel so out of place where I am. Like, why are these people treating me this way? Like, they leave me a room. The other one is helping me with this. The other one helping me with that. I ended up going to a Bible study.
Yeah.
I got a friend, he speaks Spanish too.
Oh,
He's like a
great.
little guy. So I ended up going to his Bible study. And one day he did an article and he typed in the Bible study preaching that,
Mm-hmm.
if you had never give your life to Christ, if you never, your sins being forgiven, I was thinking, well, I don't think I never done that. I think I'm in a good path, but I I never give my life to Christ. I never give my.
That's Alex, right?
That's
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So we had him on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome guy. I tell you. And so
Legend.
Alex, because he speak a bit of Spanish,
Yeah,
I got
right.
it. You know, I got Colombia with him. He picked me up. He always be nice to me.
Nice.
But I got a funny story when he did the altar call. So you see, everyone by the heads. So everyone by the heads. Everyone not looking around. So I'm still coming with. No, I don't trust people. I don't know these
Yeah.
people what they being.
understand.
So I close my
What,
eyes.
did you have one eye open still?
Oh, I think it's okay. I'm gonna bounce. No.
You know, you close your eyes, but not really. You just leave them slightly open.
So no, in that sense, okay, I'm gonna trust these people. So I close my eyes. So he preached, no, anyone wanna get the sins forgiven, lift your hands. I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna lift my hands. So I lift my hands, and so okay, and then like someone touching me, like what? Like, do you lift your hand? I said, yes. I'm like, what? How in my head, like, how this guy know that I lift my hand? Everyone's supposed to have the eyes closed.
Lie.
Anyway, so he led me to a sinner's prayer,
Yeah, great.
and that was just 4 years ago, and the rest is history. I'm here now. God has just blessed me with supernatural, crazy. It's been supernatural. I can't explain it with words. And the people at church, like I said, I used to jump into people's houses, and people now giving me the house for me to take care of the house. These people are crazy. I used to jump into people's houses and I steal their stuff. People giving me the cars, and like I used to break into people's cars. So that's been my journey. So, but bro, from that moment on, God changed my life. As soon as I give my life to Christ, in that way, God has just supernaturally changed my life.
Wow.
You can't make that stuff up. And again, you words can't describe that moment that when God touched you. As many words you could, you just astounded just without words. God, you changed my life.
He put a switch off on every single addiction that I have. My whole life, I was not able to live. No one drug. I smoked for 19 years. I used to be the worst gambler you could ever have. I could be able to have like 3 or 4 houses now if I never gamble.
Yeah.
But God just supernaturally just took the switch off, and I don't have any desire to do any drugs. But one of the best miracles he did for me was giving my family back.
Yeah. Oh, straight up.
My wife right now, she called the cops on me. She like
Great.
Yeah. She called the cops on me. Oh, good thing, because I was a bad person, but she used to hate me. She wanted me deported. And when she saw me again, she said, what are you doing here? I want you deported, you know? And God touched her heart too, changed her life too. She got saved. Now we're married together with 2 more kids.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bible study leaders.
Great.
I couldn't leave myself to anything, and I'm leading people to God. It's just crazy what God could do in your life if you just giving a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
How about yourself? How did you get saved?
So
How
I
long?
was, so we're gearing up to Halloween soon, so I might as well tell you the fully story.
The fully story?
Yeah. Well, the snippet of my conversion anyway. So 2009, I was a part of a youth committee. It wasn't religious, it was secular. So we were organized. So we were a promoter of young bands. We organize events, promote young local bands, and just organize events, right?
Music.
You know, keep people off the streets. We were invited to team up with the church I go to now in organizing an event. It was turning the whole sanctuary of the church into a haunted house. That was crazy. How would you do? You know, you're serving God on all these things, and you want to bring demons and all this stuff. So we liked it, and we decided, oh yeah, we're going to team up and turn the church into a haunted house. But it's not like just scaring for the fun of it, but it was scaring with a purpose. So one of the guys would take them on a tour around the auditorium or around the whole place, taking them to the horrors of life. So you get domestic violence, you get gang violence, you get suicide, you get abortion, which is crazy.
And that's a church.
At the church, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
A full multimedia production, videos, and the whole live blood thing. And also finally car crashes. So drinking while you're driving, texting while you're driving, and I was a part of that. So again, the first time I went to church, I went late, and again, you know, looking for the holy water, I couldn't find it. I was greeted, but the thought dropped into my mind that if this God was real, I want to know who he is, right? and started speaking with the people, and they encouraged, hey, why don't you come to church just to get to know what we're about and stuff. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. I was convicted to the bone. I was a skeptic, man. How on earth did the preacher know who I am, what my life is? Did he talk to my parents or something like that? I don't know. And it continued to come. I felt it was just a place where I can belong. And we managed to do the event over 2 nights. I think about 300 to 400 people came throughout.
No way.
About 150 decisions were made. And one guy still remains in that church today. And he wasn't a part of the audience. He was a part of the thing. Dude, I was a part of ministry before I got saved.
No way. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And just thinking about it now, in just Googling out, if a church would invest, dude, we for our scene with the car crash, we went to the wreckers and we got all these auto parts, these wrecking parts, just to make it look real. We dragged half a car up a narrow flight of stairs and put it up against there. All the effort, the half of a wrecked car, the money that was involved to pay for the flyers, the advertising, they advertised it on the paper. They did everything all for one soul to get saved.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing, but what God would instill into a church to do for one soul. It just like what Jesus says. He'd go out of the way, away from the 99, grab that one lost sheep. It says, even if a man repents, the angels
in heaven will rejoice.
Because of one man.
That line is just beautiful.
It's humbling, isn't it?
That line is beautiful when God says just angels rejoice just with one soul in heaven. It's a party right now because one person got saved.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, before we go, I want to give a plug. So there was a lady who emailed you, right?
Yeah.
Not emailed, DM'd.
DM whatever, I don't know.
I'll disclose all the name, but she was encouraged about one of the episodes. Yeah, the Kingdom Hustle one, right?
Kingdom Hustle episode. Yeah.
And this is what it's all about. We want to encourage lives, saints and sinners alike. So this girl, she goes to church, and let me see here. I'm able to read it. Absolutely loving the episodes of the Moose Vu Sesh. Very inspiring and helping me through my own situations at home. Currently watching episode 4, so you better check that out. Yeah, I'm a Christian trying to be a better me, and I go to church. Yes, very encouraging. Absolutely, I'm hooked on it. And I was told through a friend in the church about it yesterday, which is our podcast, right? And now I can't stop watching the podcast. It gives me hope and encourages me to do better through Christ. And absolutely love the Kingdom Hustlers. And I'm afraid to get back into outreaching due to personal reasons. And I don't know, we don't always go to the beach areas, but it's the fear of due to what I've been through. Definitely is encouraging to see other members doing everything that they can and groups there down for outreach. And she's also shared it into Melbourne. And that's how we are able to get the message out, just through you guys sharing. And definitely praying about that. God would help me through my own fears and personal reasons to come and outreach again. I just have a fear of being around places. And before I came back to Christ in church, almost committed suicide at the beach in one of our bad storms. And now I have fear of going near beaches. It's just a traumatizing experience that this girl has had. Now I have a challenge tomorrow, as some of us are meeting for dinner and catch up. So I'm praying God would help me through this and I don't back out. And then I think she said the day after, thank you so much. Sorry to bother you with this. I tend to open up to people I don't know. And she's just being frank and transparent.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What a testimony.
That's what it's about. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Keep on messaging us of times in the episodes that you really enjoyed and liked. And also, please, like, share that bad boy,
And
share
subscribe.
this episode, and subscribe.
Yes.
We're on more platforms now, so we're obviously on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Amazon. So get your Echo Dot and hey Alexa, play the Moose Vu Sesh.
Yes.
And support us.
yeah.
We've just opened up a Patreon page, so we appreciate your support. Man,
Anything we'll do.
anything we'll do. Any
But yeah,
support
like I
is
said,
greatly
you know,
appreciated.
we're trying to give people hope, man.
That's what it is
That's
about.
the whole aim of this podcast. You know, having Kevin here tonight as well.
Yeah.
You know, trying to escape, you know, his past.
Yeah.
You know, and he's always, you know, brought back to the same situation, go round and round in circles, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, until Jesus
For Jesus
Christ
Christ,
came,
man, yeah.
put a stop to it.
And
And
remove
now look at
everything.
There's no change in a sea change.
Yeah.
There's no changes in Christ. Yeah.
That's correct. Jesus Christ.
Kevin,
the only way.
would you like to give a shout out or anything to anyone, you know, or anyone?
Oh, to my wife, she loves this podcast. Okay. I
Alright.
knew about this podcast through my wife, you know. I said to her,
Wow.
she loves watching all these episodes and everything too. I hope she watched this one. I like this one too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man.
Ah.
You say that. Cool, man. Kevin,
What's it?
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
My
this.
so
pleasure,
much,
man.
brother, man.
That's right. This is the Moose Vu Sesh signing out. How we got it?
I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet.